You've been hit and injured by an uninsured driver, or maybe a hit and run situation, or maybe you're just here to find out how to win the Ravens tickets I'll be giving away in May. We're going to talk about it all right here on Monday Morning Lawyer. Good morning, everybody. It's your accident and injury guy, Jobeth Bowers. I am reporting from an office here in Elkton. I'm in the process of moving my office, and then last week we had a little bit of a water leakage situation, so I am temporarily displaced, but still here to serve and educate you on topics such as how to handle when you're in an accident and you're injured and the driver who caused this accident was uninsured. This is something that happens on a fairly regular basis, more than you'd probably believe, more than you'd certainly like it to be, but it is a reality of the situation. So we're going to talk about that importance of your own insurance coverage, because that's who's going to step in to save the day here, at least initially. And it dovetails into this contest that we are holding right now. It is April, and I want to be very, very clear, because when I dropped information about this contest last week, it was April 1st, because it was the first day of the month. So the contest that I'm talking about, and we're going to talk about that first, and then we'll get into the insurance situation and talk about how to handle these uninsured drivers and how those claims are different, and why the insurance review that you're going to be able to get at marylandinsuраncebook.com is so important. Okay. I talk about this all the time on the podcast, but this time it's time to actually do it, because we are having a contest for the entire month of April. Navigate to this website, marylandinsuраncebook.com. You're going to find all sorts of information about how to submit your insurance policy to me for that free review. And to be very, very clear, I'm not an insurance agent, so there's no sales pitch at the end. Just a nice little report card that I send to you that you can take to your insurance agent, or if you're shopping and talking to a new agent, you can take it to them so that they make sure that you know that you're aware of what your insurance policy is, because most people don't. And the reality of the situation is most people buy insurance based on price, not based on coverage. And if you need to make a claim, especially an uninsured motorist claim, you might regret not having adequate coverage. So all you got to do is go over to marylandinsuраncebook.com. It's my website. It's coming to Bowers Law. It looks like this. It's got a picture of me on it, which you can see. I'm pointing to something that you can't see on the screen. Also has information about the contest that we're doing. Anybody who enters, sends me their insurance policy to review within the month of April, is going to be entered to win a great and growing prize pack. So last week, if you tuned in, and I know we had some weird issues with connectivity into microphones and people couldn't hear me at first, but this autographed, authenticated, see that little sticker there? Zay Flowers, Baltimore Ravens jersey. So the winner is going to get that. And you may have seen me post recently on Facebook about adding in a pair of lower level tickets to the Ravens home opener. Now, that schedule doesn't get announced until mid-May. So right now I can't tell you who the opponents are. I can't tell you when that game's going to be. But 2 tickets to the home opener, and if it's inconvenient for the winner, we may be able to modify that. But you're guaranteed at least the home opener tickets, and we can discuss trading those up if there's a need to do so. But these are lower level tickets. These are my seats, so they're great seats, great view, and I might even be there with you depending on the schedule and how that falls into my availability. So make sure you're going to marylandinsuраncebook.com. The information is right there. marylandinsuраncebook.com. You can enter this contest, and I will do a live drawing on this podcast the first Monday in May. So you have the entire month of April to enter the win. And I think every single Monday between now and the actual contest drawing, I'm going to be working with local businesses to try to drum up some gift cards and some other things to throw in here. So we're going to grow the prize every single week. I'm sure I can make that happen. I've got enough colleagues and friends out there that I can get gift cards. If not, I'll buy them. So drop in the comments where you'd like to see a local Cecil County gift card be included into this prize package. And we'll make that happen. We'll reach out to them, see if we can work out some sort of a deal. So we're going to talk about the actual topic today, and that is what to happen in a situation where the driver who causes an accident, where you, your family members, friends, or otherwise are injured, and they don't have insurance or they fled the scene, which is usually because they've got something going on and probably don't have insurance. So it ends up being in the same situation. Regardless, it's treated as what's called an uninsured motorist claim, and it's a coverage that you're going to have on your policy. It's mandatory in Maryland, so every policy has it. It's something that we will discuss in your review, that free review that you're going to get at marylandinsuраncebook.com. On that form, it has the ability for you to upload your declarations page. That's the listing of all of the different insurance coverages that you might not know what they mean, but they do mean different things. In the consult that we do, or in the report card that I email you back, we can do a one-on-one type of call, or I'll just send you the information and you can take it to your insurance agent, whatever works with you. We're going to talk about that coverage and how it comes into play and what would happen if you were in an accident. If the other driver's uninsured, that coverage up to the limit that you have purchased. We've talked many, many times about these insurance coverage limits and how they work. Go back and check out the old podcast episodes where we can discuss it in that talk that you'll get by going to marylandinsuраncebook.com. Your insurance company steps into the role of the at-fault driver's insurance company. They act like they are their company. They will evaluate this claim. They will pay this claim. We will negotiate a settlement. And if for whatever reason we can't get reasonable quality money, what that claim is worth, we actually end up suing the insurance company directly. And this is great because I've talked about it many, many times as a PSA on this podcast, that if you are ever in a jury trial, you need to understand that if it's one of these accident cases, there's an insurance company that's going to pay that claim. And in most situations, that verdict, whatever it is, most situations, that's going to be hidden from you as a member of the jury. They don't want you to know that even though we're suing the individual person who caused the accident, that it's actually an insurance company that's paying for everything. They're paying for the attorneys to defend it. They're paying tens of thousands of dollars for the medical experts to come in and talk about how this injured person wasn't injured. I know it's preposterous, but it happens all the time. It is the industry. It's what we deal with. It's why having an advocate like us is so important, because the insurance company sure is going to spend a lot of money to defend your case. You need somebody that's going to spend the money to prosecute your case. When in these uninsured motorist cases, and why a lot of them don't go to trial, is because we're suing an insurance company directly. We get to tell the jury straight up, hey, this insurance company is paying this verdict. And if you think that that doesn't matter, you'd be absolutely dead to rights wrong, which is why a lot of those cases don't go to trial. Some do, and they result in ridiculous verdicts most of the time. I can certainly tell you about many of them that my office has been part of and that we have prosecuted. But the insurance company, your insurance company, pays that claim. And then, and this is the part that you as the insured will never see, and why there's basically no impact to your premium, because they will go and sue that driver to get their money back. Now, whether or not they actually collect any of that money, all of that money, who knows? But it's not important to you. A lot of times they're making that claim and filing that lawsuit for reimbursement so that it looks good for the stockholders, because it's all about profits and the stockholders, and we're not giving up on this money. We're going to go and try to collect it. But it doesn't impact your ability to resolve this claim one bit. What you might see if they are successful in getting their money back is, and occasionally, very, very rarely, this process happens and we realize that they did have hidden insurance. It almost never happens because we and the insurance company that's opening up this uninsured motorist claim do a very thorough investigation to make sure there's not other coverage, because we certainly prefer to get it from there, especially now that Maryland has the new enhanced underinsured motorist coverage. It's relevant. We want to find that coverage because if you have the enhanced coverage, which we'll of course talk about in your insurance review, and it's something that I've preached about on this podcast for years, your coverage will stack on top of their coverage. And in some situations that may be necessary depending on the severity of your injuries. So to wrap this whole thing up, number one, go over to marylandinsuраncebook.com, enter that contest. Let me take a look at your insurance policy. It's absolutely free, 100% confidential, so that it stays between us. It can be as simple as exchanging an email with my report card or us doing a one-on-one virtual meeting. Whatever works for you, it's 100% free. And as I've mentioned before, I'm not an insurance agent. So there's not a sales pitch. I'm not trying to sell you something. If you already have an agent, I'm going to give you this report card to take to that agent and say, hey, give me some prices to fix this. If you don't have an agent, I'm going to encourage you to get one, because buying online, buying over an 800 number where you don't have somebody to ask questions to and to hold accountable for giving you an inferior policy is just not a good idea. And as I've talked about many, many times, if you were to go to an agent and then go to a company that you can buy direct from and get the same quote, they're going to be precisely the same amount of money. So you might as well have an agent because you're not paying extra to have one. And it's a great idea. If it comes down to it and you can't find one near you, I have recommendations of agents that I know are really on top of making sure you know and making sure that you have adequate coverage. Obviously, you could just go find somebody that you like yourself. That's up to you. So yeah, make sure you have that coverage. Make sure this is why having the most coverage that makes sense for your situation is the best advice I can give you. Because if you are hurt seriously, and I deal with this all the time where people have bad injuries, surgeries, and just $100,000 in coverage, which seems like a lot of money, but in the end, you've got to pay these medical bills out of that money. You've got to pay attorney's fees out of that money, which are the least of the situation. Health insurance, all of this stuff has to get paid back. The more insurance coverage you have, the more of that money, when you raise that ceiling for what we can achieve for you, it means more money in your pocket, because our office is quite adept at keeping that money in our clients' pockets whenever we can. As always, if you have a topic for the podcast, we're going to be talking this month a lot about insurance, because I'm going to be pushing you to that insurance policy review at marylandinsuраncebook.com. Win the prizes. Look, autographed Zay Flowers jersey. I can't hold it right side up. I should just look at it. It would be very obvious. And those tickets to the Ravens home opener, the date, time, opponent to be determined. That schedule comes out mid-May. So we'll know mid-May. The tickets will be delivered shortly thereafter. So enter that contest at marylandinsuраncebook.com. This is what the website looks like. We are also giving, as you can see, the Ben Hines Memorial Foundation logo there. All right. You are not only getting the free insurance review, which should be enough motivation to send me your policy, because this is super important stuff, protecting you, protecting your family, protecting your future and your assets. You're also entered to win this prize, which we'll do the live drawing, as I noted. That'll be the first Monday in May. So the contest will be over. We'll do the drawing first Monday on the podcast right here. Well, I'll be in a different room by then. But we're also giving $5 to the Benjamin Hines Memorial Foundation Scholarship for every person who submits. So we've got a handful of these now. I suspect this thing's going to grow. Spend my money. For anybody who doesn't know, and we're going to get Ben's father on the podcast sometime this month to talk more about it. He was killed years ago in Afghanistan in live combat, and this Memorial Foundation was set up in his honor. We are proud to contribute to that. Again, everybody who sends me an insurance review adds $5 to what we're donating to that cause. I'd love to give them $1,000 as a result of this. That means 200 people have sent me their insurance policy to review. Absolutely free. 200 people have more information about how well they're protected. So take this, share it with friends, families, neighbors. All you got to do, they don't even have to watch this episode and be proud along. Just send them to MarylandInsuranceBook.com. It's absolutely free. Again, no sales pitch, just information about your insurance policy. That's about all I have for you. So if you need those old episodes of the podcast, if there's topics here that I've talked about that you're like, hey, he said he talked more about that in the past, go to BowersLawMD.com. Right up at the top where it says podcast, click there. It's very simple. I put a nice green arrow on the video or on the photo that's on the video right now, so you know exactly where to go to see those old episodes of the podcast. So that's all I have for this week. One more pitch, MarylandInsuranceBook.com. It's free, no sales pitch, no obligation, no nothing, just free information on your Maryland auto insurance policy. Oh, you're also the book. I wrote a book like 12 years ago about buying insurance in Maryland. I'm rewriting that book because there have been many updates to the law. So that's probably going to be released in June. Everybody that submits also, I know this isn't like the most exciting part of it, but you're going to get a free copy of that book. I'm going to mail that out to you, or you can come by my office and I'll just hand it to you, whatever works for you. That's coming very, very soon in June. Get yours for free. MarylandInsuranceBook.com. That's all I have for this week. Be safe. Be well. We'll see you soon.